Russian and Syrian jets targeted the rebel-held area of Eastern Ghouta and an Islamic State-held part of Deir Ezzor. Scores of people have been killed in airstrikes across Syria as government and Russian jets pounded rebel-held areas. On Sunday, government airstrikes on the areas of Mesraba and Madira in Damascus, Eastern Ghouta region killed 21 civilians, while artillery fire on the town of Douma killed another 2 civilians, the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights monitor said. The toll could rise further because of the number of wounded people in a serious condition, said Observatory Director Rami Abdullah Rahman. Among the dead were 4 children, the observatory said. 2611 The first moments of the missile bombardment by the regime on the residential neighborhoods of Douma and Ghouta. Photography at @Abdullah_via @Gout. GMC pic.twitter.com Zohi179T, share_Iran @ShareIran95 November 26, 2017 Government bombardment of Eastern Ghouta in the past 2 weeks has killed more than 100 people, according to the observatory. Rebels have also fired from the area into Damascus, killing several people. Epicenter of suffering. Humanitarian access to Eastern Ghouta has remained limited despite the implementation of a truce zone, and a United Nations official referred to the region as the epicenter of suffering in Syria. Bassam Kabia, a Ghouta-based photographer who in late October documented the grim effects of malnutrition on the district's children, told Middle East Eye last week that the situation was becoming increasingly dire. Food is in short supply, he said. And it is so expensive. Most important medicines are missing now, especially those used for cancer, heart disease and kidney failure. With time it's getting worse, there is no alternative for what we lose. Read more. Syria's East Ghouta sinks into abyss as siege and air attacks kill dozens. Faisal Abdallah, another photographer in Ghouta, said a de-escalation agreement had little effect. It never stops, he said. We have no de-escalation here in Ghouta. The agreement is only ink on paper. Russian strikes in Deir EzzorScores. Russian air strikes on Sunday morning killed at least 53 civilians, including 21 children, in a village held by the Islamic State group in Syria's eastern Deir EzzorScores province, a monitor said in a new toll. The toll increased after removing the debris in a long day of rescue operation, Rami Abdul Rahman, head of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, told AFP, adding the strikes hit residential buildings in the village of Al-Shafa on the eastern bank of the Euphrates River. Russia is a close ally of Syria's President Bashar al-Assad, and in September 2015 it began a military intervention in support of his government that has gradually helped Damascus regain territory. 6 Russian Tu-22 M3 long-range bombers hit ISIS targets near al-Ashara in Deir EzzorScores province. Syria pic.twitter.com Skixbid, military advisor at Miladvisor November 25, 2017 Deir EzzorScores is one of the last places as militants hold territory in the country, after being driven from their major strongholds including their one-time de facto Syrian capital Raqqa city. The oil-rich eastern province that borders Iraq was once almost completely under his control, but the militants now hold just 9% of Deir EzzorScores, according to the observatory. They have faced 2 separate offensives there, one led by the government with Russian backing and the other by the US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces, an alliance of Kurdish and Arab fighters. More than 340,000 people have been killed in Syria since the conflict began in March 2011 with anti-government protests.